Hey, what's up guys? It's Hayden.
Hey, and I'm Emma. Welcome to our channel. We have literally just got back from the cinema from seeing The Batman. Oh, holy dooly, was it a movie?
What a movie.
Stick around if you want to hear our thoughts.
So the Batman follows the title character as he investigates a serial killer that goes by the name of the Riddler, who's leaving him these cryptic clues that lead him to investigate the city of Gotham as well and its possible corruption. So, look, I'm just going to flat out say it. This could potentially be my favourite Batman movie.
And I think I could agree.
Wow. Wow, that's all I can say. Matt Reeves has outdone himself. This movie is as close to a masterpiece as I've seen in a long time.
This is everything that I wanted and needed this movie to be. I don't know where to start. Everything was amazing. I think we'll do spoiler free to begin with, but there's a couple of things I think I might want to touch on. So we'll give you a heads up when we're going to talk spoilers later on in the video. But for now, no spoilers. Just go and see this movie because, oh my goodness, the aesthetics of this film.
I've been waiting for them to go back to this dark Gothic aesthetic.
Yes.
Ever since Tim Burton's two Batman movies, which, I said in our trailer reaction, Batman Returns was my favourite Batman movie. I'm questioning that now because of how good this movie is. But ever since then, we haven't really had that Gothic aesthetic, have we? I mean, Nolan's trilogy was very grounded and realistic. And this is grounded.
Yes.
I will say that. It's not as over the top as Tim Burton's movies. But my God, has it brought back that dark Gothic aesthetic. I'm struggling to think of a scene that was shot during the day. Maybe one or two, and even then it was like really overcast. But most of it was shot at night.
It's very dark.
It's very dark. Reminded me a lot of how they filmed The Crow. Like The Crow was predominantly at night. And it worked. And I think it works here.
Actually, yes. That is another movie that I think I could relate this to. So for me, straight away, the vibes I got from this movie was Seven.
Yes, a lot of Seven vibes. Yeah.
Saw. And I think The Crow, now that you mention it, I was like, there's something else. There's another movie I'm thinking of. It might have been The Crow just because of how dark and gothic it is.
And for a Batman movie to be drawing from those influences,
Yeah.
you know you're in for something special.
Yeah. It had... It was gritty. It was dark.
Real gritty.
It was violent.
Yeah.
It was a thriller horror. As much it was as
Almost.
much of it as it
I would
was
probably
an
say
action.
like a thriller, psychological thriller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much like what Seven is. But we had elements of horror like Saw. I don't want to spoil too much, but
And did inject a little bit of that into it, yeah.
yeah, like if you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it had everything that I love in a movie. We love our horror films, we love our thrillers, we love our psychological thrillers. This movie made you think. It's a detective story too.
Yeah, it really shows Batman, really investigating these cases. And it doesn't just gloss over it either. Like, it spends time with Batman as he's, like, looking for clues. And I really like that because that's something in Batman that we haven't seen too much of. We've always seen him as this crime-fighting guy, out there kicking ass. But we haven't really seen that detective side of him too much. And I think this movie really kind of brings that side of Batman out, which I liked.
Yeah. At the same time, though, we still had a badass.
Oh, he still kicks ass. Don't worry about that. He still kicks ass. You saw it in the trailer, like him just pummeling this guy.
Yeah.
Like, not just like one punch, he's down, I'll leave it alone. No, he's like pummeling these guys into the ground.
He
Like, it is an aggressive Batman. It's an angry Batman. It's a Batman who is still very much mourning the loss of his parents.
Yeah.
I found. He's not, it's not like he can just turn that off when he's Bruce Wayne. Like, it's not like he's Bruce Wayne. He's like, going to these events and he's all like, happy and cheery. And no. He is just dark, brooding, emo Batman / Bruce Wayne throughout the entire thing. And I know there's probably a couple of people that will have an issue with that, struggling to separate the Bruce Wayne from the Batman. I myself didn't mind it because it really showed just how much his parents' deaths are still affecting him to this day. It's like why he's doing what he's doing. Like, it all comes down to that. And I don't think I've seen that shown in a Batman character until really this movie.
I gotta say, I am here for emo Batman. That whole My Chemical Romance kind of vibe he's got going on, I'm here for it. But he's like a total like badass at the same time. Like he can feel his feelings.
Yeah.
But he can also throw down.
And that's an important message for us men out there.
Look, I think we need to talk about Robert Pattinson as Batman. You go first.
I think I've said it.
I think
I've said it. Like, he just brought that dark, brooding, emotional Batman to the surface. There was no turning off that switch. You know, he was just in that. You know, it didn't matter if he was Bruce Wayne or Batman. You know, you knew that he was feeling those things, right? And yeah, when he was Batman, he was aggressive. He was violent. He was like unforgiving almost. Like he didn't kill. Like he still has that no kill code, the no gun code. You know, he's still got that. So he still sticks to his morals. But everything within his moral compass, he is willing to go there, right? He doesn't break that line, but my God, does he ride the line? Because damn.
He is vengeance.
He's vengeance. You know, he says it. He says it in the movie. He said it in the trailer. He's vengeance, right? And he's not mucking around.
So where do you think he stands for you in the lineup of Batmans? Because I'm feeling like...
That's tough.
It's tough, but I'm feeling like he could be my favourite Batman now.
That is real tough.
And I mean, Michael Keaton was a really good Batman, but I don't know, there was...
Keaton. I do like me some Michael Keaton.
I do too.
It's a tough one. I do think this is probably my favourite Batman movie just because of everything, the whole package. I don't know if I'm willing to put him as my favourite Batman just yet.
At the same time, I guess they are two, in a way, they are kind of two different, I don't want to say genres, but like, you know, that Batman's very caricature, it's very over the top.
It's very over the
very
top.
theatrical. Yeah. Whereas this is definitely more grounded. While it's still got, you know...
I found it was a nice middle ground between Nolan's trilogy and Tim Burton's two movies. It was that nice middle ground. Yeah. Which I think I didn't know I needed until now.
I just think it was a brilliant mix of themes. But Robert Pattinson as Batman, I would never have called it. I would never have, you know...
Yeah.
Way back when he was doing Twilight, I thought, one day
I'll see him. He'll be a Batman one day.
I see him playing Batman. Would not have picked it, but hey, it works.
But it's like, you know, Heath Ledger with the Joker, you know. It's like Colin Farrell and Penguin in this movie. You wouldn't pick it, but my God. Every scene he's in, he was close to stealing the show. Yeah. He was fantastic as the Penguin. Some people might say he was, you know, a little bit caricature going over the top. No, I thought it was perfect. Yeah. Really entertaining. Just chew up the scenery. I love watching him as Penguin. Just a really fun bad guy.
And not just in how much they changed his looks, but he changed his voice. You know, he had this very mob boss, New York kind of...
Yeah, what are you doing? I'm walking here.
Forget about
it.
Like, that's not Colin Farrell. Like,
no.
He is so unrecognizable. And not just his looks, but his voice, his whole presence. Wow, honestly. His performance was amazing.
It was a great cast all around.
They really knocked it on the head with the cast.
I really like Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Oh, she was a gorgeous Catwoman.
She's bad.
She is a bad. I don't know how I felt about her costume though. Like,
the bodysuit was fine.
Loved everything here. Just not sure about the beanie mask thing.
Yeah, I'm still not sure about the beanie mask. I think it works for the character because she's poor. She doesn't have the money to kind of fashion her own suit like Bruce Wayne does. Yeah. So she kind of just uses what she has, you know, just like a cat suit and a beanie mask. So that made sense, but just aesthetically, I'm like you. I'm still not sure about it. It's not enough for me to, you know...
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
But I still think you can't go past Michelle Pfeiffer's
outfit. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Woo!
Still the best Catwoman.
But I think Zoe Kravitz, she's up there. Like, she put in a solid performance
yep.
And I really liked seeing her and Batman together. Like, I thought their chemistry worked really well. But the casting was just brilliant. Everyone was just outstanding. Paul Dano as as
Creepy.
as the Riddler.
Creepy. Psychotic.
And I actually missed all the buzz that he was going to be playing the Riddler. But he was perfect casting choice. I've always liked Paul Dano as an actor. I really, really enjoyed him in Prisoners.
Yes.
Another movie that I think you could almost say this has a vibe of, like just that dark psychological thriller again, but it had those kind of horrific moments as well.
Wasn't afraid to get brutal.
Yeah, like there's elements from all these different films that we love that just have been put into this one DC movie, and it's just worked. It's awesome.
He was fantastic.
And of course, we can't forget Andy Serkis as Alfred. I thought he was really good, Alfred, actually.
I mean, he fits right into that great lineup of Alfreds that we've had. They always cast really good actors. He just fits right in. You know, Andy Serkis is always fun to watch on screen.
We didn't see him as much as I would have liked, but when he was on screen, he was great. And I really liked seeing him and this Batman together. I thought they worked really well. Now, can we talk about Wayne Manor for a moment? I think this is my favorite Batman house that I've ever seen in a Batman movie.
House goals. Massive house goals.
Massive house goals. I even leaned over to you in the cinema and went, house goals.
Gorgeous.
Stunning, beautiful, Gothic cathedral-like mansion. I mean, it's so Batman. Why has he never had a place like this before?
I think the closest we got was, probably his manor in Batman Returns.
But I mean, they've always been very like cave-like. And I mean,
his Bat Cave was.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And it still had a Bat Cave, but like the house, it's always looked very rich and lavish.
Yeah.
But this was Gothic, and this is what you want Gotham to be. You want it to be Gothic.
Yeah.
And it just fit in so well with the whole aesthetic of this movie. The architecture was...
So shout out to like the set designers.
Yes.
All of those guys.
Nailed
fantastic
it.
job. Yeah.
Nailed it.
I think that just really set the tone for this film in general. It had those Gothic overtones throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
Which, I've been missing from a Batman movie.
Yes.
I'm really glad they brought that back in.
Yes, definitely. Now, I also want to mention that this movie has one of the best Batmobiles. And also...
the Batmobile.
drooling. And also one of the best, not only Batman car chases I think I've ever seen, but this could possibly be my favorite car chase
Just flat
scene.
out car chase.
Like
Wow.
ever. Like in any movie, not DC Batman, like just in any action movie. Like...
Okay, when that Batmobile revved up for the very first time, I had goosebumps. Literal goosebumps.
You felt it in your gut. There's the motor on this car.
I've never had that reaction to a car
No.
starting up. In any movie, let alone a Batman movie. This movie, literal goosebumps. You just felt it in there. Oh, glorious.
Amazing car chase.
Just... The action throughout was fantastic. Really well handled. And I've got to give props to Matt Reeves in that regard. He directed the absolute hell out of this movie. And you wouldn't think it. Going from his past filmography, we had Cloverfield, which I like Cloverfield, but nowhere near the kind of look that this has. He had the 2 Planet of the Apes movies.
Yep.
But this is just different. And it's not like he came in and just did another run-of-the-mill Batman. He did a dark, gothic, brutal Batman movie.
Yeah.
So I'm a Matt Reeves fan now.
Me too.
He directed the hell out of this movie. The actors he was working with, the look he was going for, nailed it.
Yeah. And I mean, the only other director that I think could have done a movie like this well would have been Todd Phillips, who did the last Joker movie, which we absolutely adored. For those loyal followers of ours out there, you would know that the Joker movie was our very first review.
Yes. That's the movie that started this entire channel.
Yes.
Okay?
And so we love movies like that, and I think he would have been the only other director I would have put behind the lens for this movie, but Matt Reeves, damn.
Yeah, they're
He's
starting to
stepped up.
pick really good directors for these DC movies. And I've got to say, and I said this in our trailer reaction, DC are coming into their own now. They're done with the cinematic universe. Okay, Marvel's doing that. They perfected that. There's no point trying to, trying to match that, trying to replicate that. They're just doing great standalone movies. And they're bringing that dark aesthetic that DC films should be. You've got something that's really grounded, but really kind of disturbing and violent in the Joker. You've got something really dark and gothic in the Batman. So they really starting to figure out who they are and what they do well. And the last 3 films that DC have put out, I think can match anything that Marvel's put out. I think they even beat anything Marvel's put out.
Yeah. I think DC's moving away from a younger audience. They're wanting to pitch their films, I think, to the older audience.
The adults, the ones that grew up with these characters.
The one we want to see some grit, and we want to see some hard violence. You know, these superhero movies, they've always got violence, of course, but we want neck level violence.
I'm the audience, right? I grew up with Batman. I was at Movie World as a kid. I got picked out of the crowd and got taken around in the Batmobile.
You just had to throw that in.
I had to throw that in there. Yeah, I grew up with Batman. Like, I'm the audience for these kinds of movies, right? Marvel stuff, even the early DC stuff, like, it's fine. But as an adult, you grew up with these characters. You kind of want to see more of an adult take on them.
You want to see their transition.
Yeah.
You want to see your characters evolve with you in a way.
Yeah.
And I really like where they're going with these new movies, and I hope they stay on this path. I think it's working. I like this kind of MA, almost R-rated superhero movie.
They're pushing the boundaries.
Yeah. More of this, please. Now, with that, I think we might go into some spoilers now.
Yes, just a couple.
Just a few. So, if you haven't seen the Batman, stop listening to us because we're going to start spoiling things for you. Really, please just go and see this movie. It has everything. It has Batman. It has the aesthetic. It has the cinematography. Oh my God, we didn't touch on that, but it was beautiful. Good writing, good acting, just great storytelling as well.
Great filmmaking in general. If you're a fan of filmmaking, this would be the movie for you. If you're a fan of comic book movies, this would be for you. If you're a fan of Batman, this will definitely be for you. This is the movie for the Batman fans.
Yes. Anyway, let's get into some spoilers now. I want to touch on the little... we did get a huge reveal, but we had a little bit of a tease at the very end of the movie about a little character that could be coming along in a sequel. So I guess that's another spoiler and stuff. I think we're getting... we're getting another sequel. We're getting a sequel.
It looks like Matt Reeves is ramping up for 2 movies, maybe a trilogy. God, please be a trilogy. God, please.
If it's more of what we've just seen, please make it a trilogy. Yeah. But we've had a little bit of a cameo. He wasn't very clear, but I think we're getting a new Joker.
Another one.
God,
how many Jokers do they want? When I heard the voice, I was kind of hoping we were going to get Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Just a little part of me was just like, oh please, just bring it all together.
Imagine?
Bring it all together for me. They didn't, and that's fine. We're getting a new actor to play the Joker. So that'll be interesting.
Now, I actually thought it was going to be Two-Face at first because we see him in the shadows. So we didn't see a lot of detail, but the detail that we did see, it kind of looked like he had a disfigured side of his face. So I immediately went to, oh my God, it's Two-Face. Like, that just made sense
Then
to
you
me.
heard the laugh and you're like, wait a minute.
The laugh, and then he made some comment about a clown and making a comeback and all this. So I was like, okay. Probably Joker. And I think it's been confirmed that it is going to be Joker.
I think we looked it up. I had to look it up. Had to know. We're pretty sure it's Joker. So we potentially are getting another Joker in another Batman movie. If they sign off on another Matt Reeves movie. Which, look, I think the way this movie's getting reviewed, I think it's a definite. I think DC would be stupid not to give him the reins on another movie or 2.
So that was exciting. And I also really liked the makeup choices for the villains that we see in the opening scene. I can't remember what the gang was called, but they were kind of like skeleton-like makeup, the black and white. I really liked that. I really liked that creepy mask that one of the bad guys is wearing at the beginning. I was really hoping we were going to see that mask again, because that was something of nightmares. That was something you would see. Yeah, you would see that kind of mask in a horror movie. So as soon as that mask sort of appeared, I was like, oh, okay, this is the kind of movie we're getting. It's kind of creepy stuff.
Well, speaking on that and like the horror elements, I think we've got to talk about the Riddler's traps.
Yes.
Very Saw-like.
Yes.
It was almost like the Riddler met Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Essentially, like that was essentially the Riddler's character.
And that's what I meant. Like, I got so much Saw vibes, and yeah, these traps. But even the way the Riddler acted was little bit like Jigsaw, his character. So. For those of you who are familiar with the Saw franchise, you'll know what I mean. But also, I thought the Riddler also kind of paralleled with the character in Seven, Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey's, yeah.
I've totally blanked.
John Doe, I'm pretty sure is.
Yeah, totally blanked on the character's name, but yeah, he definitely had elements of both of those characters. I thought in this, and I loved it. I thought it was really cool. A really cool way to portray the Riddler.
Definitely influences of Seven, of Saw,
yeah.
of The Crow. We've said it before.
Yeah.
You can just see those influences just tied and weaved throughout this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely not copying anything. It's definitely kind of setting its own path. And
yeah. It's taken elements from these different genres, different movies, and made it its own. It works so well. But I think we will wrap it up there. We've talked a lot about this movie, and I could probably keep going on about it because I absolutely loved it. Definitely seeing it again.
I think we need to see it again for sure.
I would watch this movie over and over again. I really do think it is my favorite Batman movie now. I love Robert Pattinson. I can't wait to see more of him as Batman. So let us know what you thought of this movie if you have seen it.
And do other YouTube stuff as well, guys. If you like what we do, slam that like button. Hit the bell for the notifications to be notified of what we got coming up next. Subscribe to our channel and become part of the Headspace Films community. Most importantly of all, thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
See ya.